Yo guys, I'm Yellow, a Norwegian hardcore PC gamer, and today I figured that we should be a bit clever and take a look at pistol metagames of CS. Now this is gonna be a bit more advanced because I figured I should cover this. Not too many people have and not too many people care to, but these are legitimate things that I've seen pro players try and do. You know, professional players, they truly know the metagame, so obviously they're going to go for some crazy things to make them work out. Now this falls within those lines, but it's obviously not done often because it's not that viable. Why people are doing it, by the way, I figured I should first explain before we do, before I essentially go through T side, then I'll go through CT side, which by the way, it's by far more viable, I guess. It's more possible, not just because of their default weapons, but because of how they also spawn in a little bit more favorable place, I would say. But that aside, so yeah, if you people were unfamiliar with this, at one point in the metagame of CS, when you wanted to buy something, you had 45 seconds extra on the buy timer. Now that got greatly reduced, sadly, but it's still about 15 or 20 seconds max. I can't remember the exact number, but that's not important. What is important is that is such a close gap in which you can almost only execute what I'm about to show you people on Dust2, which is essentially to be able to somehow get one kill so that you can save up all your money to one bucks, you know, 1100, which thus would allow you to buy some alternate weaponry. Now on T side, that will allow you to buy one Mac 10 at best, which is pretty brutal on a pistol round. I mean, you can shred through people. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it used to be so in the past as well. I find it actually to be a bit lame that we can't do this again in this metagame, because it's a pretty viable strategy, and it also makes it so that you gotta be a little bit more defensive. But anyways, you know, that's not too important. What is important is that you can also spend that money on Kevlar and armor, or you can, in some scenarios, this also happened, by the way, you can buy the regular Kevlar vest, then go for a potential kill with whatever type of weaponry you got, and, you know, if you then didn't take any shots, you can now just buy the helmet. However, it still have to happen really early on, keep that in mind. Now, how you can also make this happen a little bit more frequently if you're playing on T side would be to make your buddy drop you a Desert Eagle. Now the annoying part here though is that this is probably your only viable choice if you want to be able to get a very accurate shot, and it's also why I figured I should turn on the debug aim, or as you can see right here, is showcase the effective aim that you got in the game a little bit more clearly, at least, even though again you can also see my crosshair does the same, which is why having a dynamic crosshair until you understand how the recoil mechanics works is not a bad thing at all. But anyways, back to the actual accuracy. So as you can see, everything becomes a little bit more accurate when you're sitting down, which is pretty nice, because it at least gives T-side an edge, you know, or at least an attempt if they make it so that some guy is wielding a Desert Eagle, have spent no money, and, you know, if he is then lucky enough to get the kill early on, he can buy himself some goodies. But anyways, let's swap sides now. Oh okay, he got... yeah, he screamed pretty loud. And now he's okay. Kids, look away. So let's move on then instead to CT side, because here everything becomes more viable because of the P2000 and the USP. The good thing with these weapons, though, is that they will, in general, give you a pretty nice damage, which thus means that if you are cheeky enough to rush up here on middle right after spawning, I would, by the way, only recommend to go for this if you spawn very close to middle right here. If you then are lucky enough to get a couple of taps on the enemy, let's say somebody's AFK, for example, now you can run straight back. And the good thing here, too, is that you got these metal doors. They make it so that you can bob and weave a little bit more, especially also since you can play a little bit more with the horizon, and the enemies can come from 2 general, or maybe 3, maybe 4 if you want to be picky. But yeah, they can come from a lot of general directions, which is pretty useful, because that means that you might, theoretically speaking, have a bigger chance of at least meeting enemies, and that will mean that you can then run back and buy yourself Kevlar plus helmet. Sadly, though, you cannot buy an alternate weapon, even though, again, I would recommend to maybe try and go for a 5.7 and head armor buy. You know, to do that, though, you need a teammate's cooperation. But on the CT side, at least, because of the primary starting default weapons, they become a little bit more viable, which is pretty nice. Now, in terms of statistics for the weapons, if you're trying to fish for somebody that might be AFK, the P2000 is going to serve you more tapping justice, but you need to tap it really slowly, because The P2000, you can't tap as consistently with it because the reset time of the accuracy is not as fast as it is with the USP. However, it's a bit more accurate and got a slight bit more damage, I do think, if I remember correctly. But anyway, so I figured I should just make this video so people got a little bit more frisky and alternate Dust2 strats per se. If this is viable on alternate maps, I'll just make a quick rundown of those, but thus far I don't think it's possible. Only maybe on cash if you got like a purchase macro and you get the best spawn ever, but even then it's incredibly improbable. But anyways, yeah, thanks for watching. If you people want to support my broadcast, all links in the description below will allow you to do such a thing in terms of support. We got the Patreon page, we got, you know, if you want to buy a t-shirt with a dragon on. Aside from that, we also got the Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch link. Follow me there if you also want to support me. Anyways, thanks for watching, have a nice day, and don't get beastified when you play.